Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV that I didn't watch last night, Jeff Lewis Live, 2 hours long of it. How are you, everyone? Get comfortable in comments. I love all the chumpettes that are able to join live. If you're watching from a replay, we adore you also. Get comfortable in comments. Please like, please subscribe, please make a comment. It all helps, and I really, really appreciate it. Hello, everybody. How are you? We've got a beautiful day here. I love South Texas. It's sunny and 87 degrees. That is maybe 84 degrees is perfection, but sunny and 87 is pretty darn good in my book. I am not a winter girl. I'm already dreading. My kids are already talking about, oh, Dad, pull out the fire pit. I'm like, when it's that, he's even got that smokeless one, allegedly, whatever that one is that overpriced, whatever. They love it. Where the smoke doesn't come in your face. But I don't know. I like s'mores. I like sitting outside. But if it's too cold, I'm miserable. There is not enough blankets. And then I get grossed out thinking, what if a bug got in my blanket that I'm bringing inside? I'm a ton of fun in the outdoors, right? Anyways, give me my flip-flops, give me my tank tops all freaking day long. 70 and sunny, Shay B. That's amazing. Now that's a little no, it's 70 chilly. 70's not sunny. That's amazing. I love it. Okay, let's get started. So much to chat about. Has anyone else stumbled upon this Nutter Butter fiasco? Or maybe it's not a fiasco because now I'm kind of wanting a Nutter Butter, and I'm not really the biggest peanut butter girl. I'm more of like chocolate and peanut butter, but maybe it's working. I stumbled across something this morning on TikTok, made a video about it because after I went to their TikTok, I'm like, what in the psychedelic mushroom chaos? Who is Aiden? Like, why are there butterflies? Why is there a shrimp on the Nutter Butter? First of all, we've got Nutty Buddies in our pantry. Those are very different. So I don't even think people know what the difference is. Thank you, Sephora, for saying you're number 5. Please hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. We've got the chocolate covered wafers with maybe a hint of peanut butter. Those definitely aren't my jam. Now, Nutter Butters, those aren't bad. It's like a cookie shaped like a peanut, got a thin layer of peanut butter in there. I like them because sometimes I bought these little 2-packs of them, and they're perfect just to snack on every once in a while. Now, like I said, it's not really my favorite. I'm more of a mint Oreo girl or a fudge stripes girl or a delicious chocolate chip cookie girl, white chocolate macadamia nut girl, cranberry and white chocolate girl. Okay, brownie girl. What kind of a cookie girl am I not? But anyways, their TikTok, I assume it's the same on their Instagram. Let's check out Nutter Butter. Nutter Butter, such a weird name for one thing. And especially, does Nutter Butter and Nutty Buddy, are they similar? Okay, so this is a Nutter Butter. Let's just scroll. How weird. Do I have my volume up? Oh, why is my Apple Pay coming up? Not trying to pay for something. That's a cookie ad? Like what?
Yes.
What? It's so bizarre. Yeah, who's Aiden? Okay, we know it's cookie time, okay? Cookies are year-round. We know cookies are kind of a kid thing, but they're geared towards women, let's face it. In general, yes, don't come at me, women. Don't come at me. Michael Riley, don't come at me. In general, let's just say women are the grocery consumers, right? Is that what we want to see to make us throw Nutter Butters in our cart? I have no idea. I don't know. It's so weird. Anyways, check it out. Let me know your thoughts. I just thought it was so weird. Okay, I did see the coffee picture this morning. Joey is on the prowl. I mean, and he is so confusing. Jeff talked about it a lot today. He's talked about it a lot in the past. We know he and his husband Brian broke up in April, possibly the endish of April. Whenever they went to, who remembers when their spring break was? Because whenever that was, Brian, remember, met them down in Cabo. It didn't tend to go well, and they broke up shortly after that. Whenever the attempted robbery was into the home invasion, the attempted home invasion in their house. I think they were together at that time, but I'm not even sure they were together that night. So maybe they were already having problems. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not been that long. I mean, they were married, I think six and a half, or together 6.5 years. He had this recent rebound named David. Now he lets us know today that that has already ended. And he was already on another date with another guy that he met Saturday night, an OnlyFans dude. And he wanted to bang it up with him. And I'm like, dude, like, Jeff is like, if you're not dating, but you're dating, like, I'm taking a break. I'm focusing on myself, but I'm not. I think Jeff is talking about Joey Zalzig when he talks about giving people advice and then they don't take it. But then Shane was right. Shane was like, that's kind of what our whole show is about. Like, people give you advice and you don't take it. I mean, you say you're on a pause and then you date. I mean, pot, kettle, black, that, is that really Jeff saying, like, I think it's always easier for us to judge other people than to look within and see that we're maybe making the same mistakes or similar mistakes, right? So anyways, I just thought Joey looked extra cute. He is definitely single, definitely showing the abs, definitely dressing and doing all the things. Yeah, Raquel says he's only 32, which is young. I mean, I was in a very different place at 32, but not everyone is. Raquel says he's only 32, and we all went through that. So I met my husband. I had an 8.5-year relationship. So I dated a guy from 16 to 25 when I broke up with him. Not that he's not a fantastic dude. He's an attorney. I think he has three girls. Anyways, then I was single about 15-ish months, had so much fun and loved being single. And then I met my husband, who we married a year later. So, I've been off the market since 1999, but really I was never really on the market since I was like 16 years old. So yeah, well, is it though? Tiffany Chump says it's like deja vu when Jeff was with Stu. Yeah, but he's not going back to Brian, like, at all. He hasn't seen Brian. I don't think they've talked. They're on very bad terms. And he's, he's not like sleeping alone every night, if you will. You know what I mean? What else? Okay. Hayu Fan Fest is going on in London. It's amping up. Andy's posting. Andy's having great weather. Another Chumpette shout out. Let me know that the weather has been fantastic in London. So I love that for her. I love the pictures he's posting of him and Lisa Barlow. Captain Sandy is there. So I think Captain Sandy got Andy and Bravo in the divorce of Captain Lee and Captain Sandy, right? I'm just saying. Who else is there? It's not that many people. I don't know. Tell me the few Chumpettes that are in London with us. Let us know, or anyone that knows, like, is Hayu Fan Fest as big as BravoCon? Is it a small event? Is it sold out? Is everyone excited? Is everyone, reselling tickets? I want to find this group picture he did. Okay, it's Captain Sandy, Ashley Darby, Craig, Lisa Barlow, Andy Cohen, Jessel from New York, Sutton Strack, and then oh, shoot. What's the tall dude's name? My brain went blank. Whatever that tall dude's name is. Partier from Southern Hospitality or Southern Charm. Anyways, I'm sure there's way more people there, but somebody also, a Chumpette, told me, we were chatting this morning, and they said it's an odd place where the venue is. So I don't know if that means it's big. They're trying to figure out where Andy might be staying. Somebody has figured it out. A couple of y'all sent me some DMs yesterday of the building that's shown outside of his hotel room, and y'all have absolutely figured it out, so it's weird. Mayboo, who lives in London, says she's not seen it advertised anywhere. Now, how bizarre is that? That's so weird. So would it normally be so I felt like that's how BravoCon 2019 was. I'd never heard of it till it was too late. And then my friends and I, we all of our kids in 2019, the fall, we were so involved in volleyball. I don't think I could have gotten away at that time. I still had too many kids at home and all that jazz. But it's like I always fast forward through the commercials. I didn't know what Radio Andy was in 2019. So I didn't even understand when he would say Radio Andy on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't even know what it meant. Like, I think sometimes you got to spell it out and say, get the Sirius XM app. And then I would have went, oh, my husband has Sirius XM because we listen to Howard Stern when we go on dates. But I never knew how to listen to the app. I only knew it was in his car. I didn't know how to listen to it on Alexa. And I certainly didn't know that Jeff Lewis had a show. And I don't think I would have known enough about Jeff Lewis besides flipping out to want to listen. But I love Radio Andy now. You know what I mean? Mayboo, that's so weird. She lives in London and she said she only knew about hayu Fan Fest from me. Come on, Andy. Come on, Bravo. Y'all got to do a better job of promoting this shit. You know what I mean? I would love that. Lisa K says, I'm dying to go to BravoCon. So the dates are already out for BravoCon 2025. It will be in Las Vegas. It will be at Caesars Forum. So you can start looking at flights when they go on sale. You can start booking hotels. Make sure you're in the BravoCon Facebook group. I have nothing to do with it, but they are really good about giving information, discount codes, when tickets will go on sale, probably July-ish, if it's the same as the last two BravoCons I've gone to. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. And more than that, I want other chumpettes to go so we can meet up and get to know each other, make plans together. So start saving all that money. Don't plan the little vacation. Wait for this November 2025 vacation in Las Vegas and join the Sarah from Texas Facebook because I've already got an event set up so we can get to know each other and meet up there. So don't worry if you're coming alone. We will all be together. I promise you, we will make so many memories. So don't worry about if your best friend can't come, if you don't have any Bravo fans, you don't want to drag your husband. Think of how much money we can save by just coming alone, right? We won't have to drag our husband that doesn't even want to go. Don't have to drag the best friend that doesn't even watch Bravo, right? So much fun. Okay, not really fun, but instead of watching Salt Lake City last night, my husband and I watched This is the Zodiac Speaking. Creepy documentary that just came out yesterday on Netflix. It's a three-part episode documentary about the Zodiac killer from like the late 60s. So how they never caught this guy. I mean, I think they did. I just think they don't have enough evidence. And there certainly wasn't what's the word? The blood samples and there wasn't the science behind it now that they could have used to prove it. But he was very smart. I mean, whatever this coding he was doing, some of people have never figured out some of the codes that he sent to the newspapers even now. And back in the day, two teachers were the ones. Hi, Looney. Two teachers were the ones that figured out one of the codes and said what it meant, which was really creepy because in one of the codes, a computer figured out later, and it was the name very similar of one of the family friends that he was involved in for decades. And this woman, this mom of like 7, protected him and maybe knew everything. We don't really know. All I know is she allowed her children to, preteens, teens to go with him on trips. And now they think it was kind of field trips to go and visit the places. He might have even done one of these murders while they were in the car and he ran down and was like gone for an hour and came back with blood on his hands. He passed away in when did he pass away? 1992, maybe? Pretty young, in his 50s. He needed dialysis and stuff, but it's crazy. I mean, hindsight is 2020. It's easy for me to watch this documentary and go, why didn't the parents tell people, hey, my child, my fourth grade, my fourth grader was sent home with this coding to figure out over the weekend for homework. And this guy is giving code. I mean, isn't coding a weird thing in the late 60s? I mean, it was weird. I mean, it was like triangles and I mean, it's so weird. Yeah, I think so. Southern Bell Cell says the Zodiac killer was probably at genius level. So I also wonder, there was just things like it ended. Yeah, DNA. There was no DNA. Oh, y'all are saying hi to Luna. She already went out now. So crazy. Can you ask? Oh, yes. Rebecca Brown says, can you ask the Chumpettes if anyone has a Chumpmas ticket to sale? I didn't get one and live in the OC. Join the Facebook group, and there's even bigger Facebook groups. One is called All Things Jeff Lewis. That has like 20 or 30,000 people in it. Join that Facebook group and put in there that you're looking to buy a ticket, because I promise you, as it gets closer, November, somebody will be sick, somebody's cousin will drop out. I promise you, there's always tickets for sale. I promise you. So just plan on going for sure. Jen Helen says, have I seen Anatomy of Lies yet? It's pretty good. I have not. What's that one about? I love a documentary. I love a documentary. Maybu says, it's like he wanted to be caught. Apparently it's common for serial killers to say things to people that is kind of giving it away. Narcissistic. Exactly. And that's why he was sending these codes and these letters to 2 or 3 different newspapers like San Francisco Chronicle or whatever it was called, and saying, print this or I'm going to murder more people. And I'm after your kids. I'm watching your kids. I'm going to get them off the bus. I mean, he was terrifying these people for sure. Oh my gosh, I love that. Lisa's at Longhorn Steakhouse with my bestie, Lisa. I love that. You have a bestie named Lisa? I love that. Anyways, you're in Texas City, girl. You're so close to me. We got to get together for lunch or dinner. Join the Facebook group. We're trying to plan our next dinner now. Okay, so let me know if you watched that, if you thought it was good. The reason I give it an 8.5 out of 10, they really focus on this family, which I get. I mean, I doubt he had a lot of family and friends, but they really focus on these kids, these preteenish that kind of did these trips and day trips with him, like these fun outings and stuff, because they now think, oh, looking back, oh, we went to that ocean place. Oh, we went there. Oh, we were at that race in where was Anaheim or Irvine or Anaheim or Riverside. I mean, I think he murdered all up and down California. So it's kind of weird. But also, it's like he lived here and that's where murders were happening. And then he lived here and that's where murders were happening. Where he was in a mental institution for 4 years, nothing happened. It was quiet from the Zodiac killer. They had already done a sweep of his house. They already had his name on the radar. They swept his house 3 different times and found stuff, but not quite enough. So it's just so frustrating because I'm sure all of these, and a lot of the people he killed was teenagers, 15, 16, like on Lover's Lane, on the beach, didn't seem to SA anyone, assault anybody, but he was sent to that mental institution for molesting children. So maybe students when he was a teacher, which is just awful. Yes, Krista says, what's the name of this documentary? Is it super evil? I can't handle it. It's not super detailed, in my opinion. I mean, but then again, I love watching Dateline 20/20, 48 Hours. So I like watching that kind of stuff. I like proof. I like phones. I like physical evidence. I like proof. I like blood. I like DNA. I mean, I like proof, but it's called This is the Zodiac Speaking. That's literally the name of it. It's 3 quick episodes on Netflix. So let me know if you want to watch it. I did not watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City last night. I'm hearing Mary was good. She was bad. I'm hearing she was Mary, right? I will watch Real Housewives of OC tonight, but I am also going to body pump with my girlfriend. So I'm excited for that because it's just more fun to work out with friends, right? On a personal note, I'm broke as a joke. I mean, not really, but dang, they rape you over the shouldn't say that word. Rake you? Rake you. Is that what it's called? Rake you over the coals. I think I said another word. Anyways, was booking the graduation weekend for one of our daughters that's going to graduate next year in May, and it's October, and the prices are already like 10 times more than normal. It's ridiculous. The flights aren't terrible. We got nonstop in and out, everybody. All of that is booked. That was about $333 each, so that wasn't terrible. Man, I mean, the houses to rent were ridiculous. Yes, rake you over the coals. That's what I meant to say. I'm like, oh my God. Are you Paul? Rebecca Brown says, yes, I'm Paul. I'm also a cheap girl. Anyways, okay, but that is all done. It feels so good to get it done. I'm just waiting on one kid's schedule to make sure, because, just because one is graduating from college doesn't mean my other two kids in college don't have exams also. So it's a busy time of year. But anyways, I hope we all get there. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is going to start again November 19th. I thought they were still filming right now because I remember when Sutton Stracke canceled on Jeff Lewis a week or two ago, he said something about, well, they're filming right now and maybe, Bravo just didn't want them to be filming right now and be on the show. But he was like, well, there's a lot of other stuff about her that I can talk about her. So, Krista says those flights are a deal. I mean, it's not the best I've ever had. I mean, I've gotten better prices, but considering it's graduation weekend and everything, everyone knows to rake up price, to hike up prices. That's a big word. Hike, rake. That's a lot. Anyways, thank you, Christy. I love your personality. Oh my gosh, shout out. Thank you so much. Because there's so many that don't. But, at 51 years old, I cannot change my personality. I've been Sarah my whole freaking life. Take it or leave it. I mean, for better or for worse, my good things, my bad things. Anyways, okay, let's get into today's Jeff Lewis Live. We've got lots of time, so we will either end a little bit early or we'll have lots of time to chat. Or maybe if anyone has advice stuff, it needs advice, triggering onto Dr. Laura, get with us. I am still trying to figure out how to do an advice podcast. I really want to do that. Southern Bells Cell says, Sarah, your husband must be a hedge funder. No, I don't know what that is. He's not. He's in oil and gas. But anyways, hedge funder. No, that sounds like somebody with a lot more money than us. No. But anyways, okay. Dr. Laura was on. She has been doing this for like 40, 50 years. And I'm happy to take over for her. So I would like to do it for free. I am not paid by SiriusXM, but I love listening to people's problems. I love giving advice. I love the idea that people can have an outlet to ask for advice or opinions anonymously, because I think there's so many of us that want to ask someone or tell someone our problems, but they don't want the sister-in-law to judge. They don't want the brother. They don't want the parent, the neighbor, the mother-in-law, the spouse, you know what I mean? Their kids. So I really think there's a need for it and I would love to do it. I just need to figure out the logistics of it, like how to take a phone call, or if they want to be on the video, if they don't want to be on the video, if they want it to be anonymous. So anyways, anyone that has ideas, let me know. You lost me at Reddit. Wait, I didn't say anything about Reddit. What did you know? Sabina says you're in Cancun, Mexico. Do you live there or you're on vacation? I love Cancun. Wait, what? Hey, Boo says, yes, she needs advice. How do you get paint out of carpet? I just dropped some. Well, that's not the good advice I know, because me and homemaker Sarah is probably not your best advice person. My niche would be relationships, parenting, friendships, job stuff. Nobody's coming to me for fashion. I mean, look at this crap. I mean, this workout bra, workout shirt that's way too small for me. I mean, I can tell you how to eat healthy, maybe, but I'm not doing it right now. I had a big bowl of cereal this morning, but I did have some turkey meatball kale soup for lunch. Delicious. Yes, isn't that funny? Tiffany Chump says Dr. Laura asked at the very end. She said, "Am I a chumpette?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, she knows the term chumpette." And I don't DM with her, I promise you. Um, oh, uh, no. Jordy says on Reddit. Well, oh, now, okay, that's what you mean. Okay, so Jordy said on Reddit, someone said Sarah's husband is a doctor. He is not, never been to medical school. And Tiffany said, "You lost me at Reddit." Okay, now I get it. Now I get the what that meant. So, anyways, vacation. Oh my gosh. I hope you are having a fabulous time. Hope it's all inclusive. I hope the drinks are fruity. I hope there's a pretty little umbrella on the top. Oh my gosh. Really? Oh, that was true. Okay, Jet says the comments about Dr. Laura on the Jeff Lewis Live post were pretty mean about her not knowing that he's gay. Yeah, she kept saying, like, sh she doesn't know he's gay? Like, what? I mean, I don't know. She was like, "D anyone got law advice? It's so expensive." We do have a couple of attorneys that are chumpettes. Post in the, well, post right here or go to the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Yes, for sure. It's always best to help each other out, right? Yeah, she did kind of keep saying, like, I don't know if you're dating a woman or a man, and like nobody corrected it. Like nobody, I almost agree with the caller in the second hour that said like everyone seemed a little starstruck, like even MJ was kind of quiet. And I kind of agreed with that. But even Jeff was like, but I don't know her well. Like when she stopped in the first time a few weeks ago, she was there doing something else. Either she lives in like where does she live? Y'all Malibu or somewhere? No, no, no. Santa Barbara or somewhere. And I have no idea how far that is. But yesterday, people. Oh, I have heard that. Heather says yesterday. Why yesterday though? People were upset that she said the N word several times years ago. Yeah. Um, I think Michael Riley says, I think Dr. Laura was playing possum, not a good look. What does that mean? Like playing like she doesn't know he's gay? Like it's not a negative thing to know someone's gay when he's out with it. He's made that public knowledge. It's one thing to out someone that hasn't made that public knowledge. Um, Sarah, yeah, and that's so weird. Sarah says, I haven't seen Hayu Fan Fest advertised either, and I live in London. That is so weird to me. Like they don't have a website to buy tickets or anything. So weird. Okay, so it starts off, and basically she came because she was walking by, and MJ, who has listened to her for like 30 years, and her cousin listens to her, and they chat about it, has said, hey, why don't you pop in for 5 or 10 minutes? Well, she ended up staying like 20 or more minutes. And I think she really realized, hey, I'm huge, but a lot of my fans overlap with Chump fans because they were all telling me, oh my God, we heard you on Jeff Lewis Live. And she's like, I don't even think she knew what Jeff Lewis Live was. Like completely different. She's on channel 111 on Sirius XM and he's on channel 102. So, you know, she's not even under the same mini umbrella of Radio Andy, right? So, Mama Judy says, Dr. Laura is very curt and comes across as rude, not a fan. She gave little advice, just said, you chose him, live with it. Rude. I did think that was rude. I did think when she said, well, you made a baby with him, so you got to live with it. I'm like, dude, I mean, okay, well, I will say, as my own personal experience, it's true. If you get noticed, you're going to have people that love you and people that feel just as strongly against you. Lovers, as I like to call them. So the fact that Dr. Laura has huge fans and huge haters or lovers, as I like to say, Jeff would admit that. I would admit that. And I'm 1/1,000,000th of, you know, any kind of, you know, fan base as they have. So I definitely think people are going to feel strongly one way about her for sure. So she opens up. It's Dr. Laura and MJ on. She hasn't done private therapy in years because basically she said, you know, people would come to her and once she started the radio, they just wanted to talk with her, like, "You're famous," and she wasn't really giving advice, they just wanted to kinda so I think she just focuses on her time. She reminds me of Judge Judy, like, she's probably a gazillionaire through and through and just, you know, does her little shows and then goes on about life, and she's really not in the paparazzi, she's really not on TMZ, she just kinda lives her life, and she's you could probably see Dr. Laura and not really recognize her on the street. I mean, because I think she would kinda blend in with people, you know what I mean? So, um, Tiffany Chump, what were y'all talking about her? I get it, I have so many friends that literally hate their lives, and their husbands and complain every day, but instead of doing something about it, they think that they are stuck. Yes. So I think sometimes we need practical advice, which I think I'm really good at, of saying, like, "This is what you need to do. You need to decide this, then you need to do this, then you need to do this." Like step 1, step 2, steps 3, step 4, you know what I mean? And some people, as we know, Jeff complains about it, some people want to get advice, and do nothing about it. They just kinda wanna waste your time, and some people just need an ear, they need a shoulder to lean on, they need to vent, and maybe they do feel stuck, but they still want to complain about it because they feel like you're a safe space for that, you know what I mean? Or it makes them feel better for that for sure. Um, yes, Eliza says, "Yes," and it's true, we have both extremes about Dr. Laura in this chat, people that love her and people that don't necessarily love her. Jet says, "Dr. Laura could bring a huge new fan base to Jeff if she's a chump. Her base is right-wing Republican patriots, deeply religious middle America suburbanites." Wow, you've got her nailed, I guess. I don't know what she is, but yes. Um, Southern Bell Cell says, "Sarah, are you a straight shooter?" I mean, I think too much sometimes. I think I'm too honest with people, but you know what I mean? Tiffany Chump says, "I want her to do a deep dive on Jeff." Does she really go deep with people? Or does she seems very quick with answers like, "End it. Give him a blowjob, wait for him naked." It's kinda crazy. Anyway, she talks about infant swim lessons at first, and I was like, "Wait, that's where we're going with this?" But basically, MJ's like, "Look, I'm terrified of pools. My best friend has a pool, and I won't let her watch my 5-year-old because of that." I'm like, "That's not the advice we want," but it quickly got into a lot of advice. Um, I guess one of the things she's known for is telling people that no matter how long you're married, no matter how many children you have, no matter what problems you have, the girl needs to always be the husband's girlfriend. Well, what a I hope she also says that the man also needs to be his wife's boyfriend, right? Because I feel like it can go both ways, and once you have one treating someone like a wife and you want the other one to treat like a boyfriend, I'm like, I mean, Oh, Tiffany Chump says, "How does MJ tell Shane that he needs to learn how to swim, but doesn't get her own son swim lessons?" That was so stupid. I know. I was like, wait a minute. An adult is much more terrified statistically of learning how to swim because they've got a whole life of being petrified of water. So they have much more of a mental block with swim lessons. We did swim lessons for all of our kids as babies and toddlers, and then they were swimming. But yeah, to say that to Shane, who's 27, and yet she's terrified. What'd she say? They went for a couple of years without swim lessons, and now they're all afraid of swimming. And I'm like, well, that's not the way to live, though. Just because your son is not going to be around a swimming pool doesn't mean they always won't be. But there's lots of bodies of water that a kid can drown in a bathtub himself. So it's kind of crazy. MJ, excuse me, all the soup. Eliza says MJ talks too much. She interrupts conversations before they are finished. Yeah, I felt like she was playing the liaison, the unofficial liaison between Jeff and Dr. Laura, because Jeff doesn't really know much about Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura didn't know much about Jeff. And, MJ feels like she's besties with Jeff and she's such a big fan of Dr. Laura. You know what I mean? So, Mama Judy says, I don't hate her at all. Well, that's good because I'm glad you don't have hate in your heart. I just wouldn't go to her for advice because she doesn't really give any. It wastes my money and both of our time. People were asking for advice. Yeah, did she really give advice? I'm really trying to think. Even I mean, and we heard pros and cons in this. Quickly, I wrote in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, what did we think about her telling Jeff that he should stay single until he's 18 or until Monroe is 18? I'm like, that's just not practical. But one person commented, well, she wants people to focus on themselves and their children and not a partner. But then other people were like, well, I met a great person after I divorced or split up with my father's kids or kids' father. And then my kids had a great stepfather. So I don't know. I just don't think it's practical to tell someone. I think what's a lot more in the middle is don't go introduce your kid. Don't go to Disney World on date number 3 and get your child attached to every person that you're dating. Don't talk about John and Jimmy and Blake and Brian and whatever. Don't put your kid in the middle of that as much as you can. Jeff's in a good situation or a better situation now that he's got custody of Monroe 1 week on, 1 week off, because he can really hyper focus on the dating and bang it up, bang it out, date it up, do all the cocktails. And then he can really spend time with Monroe, especially now that she sleeps with him every night. You know what I mean? And he enjoys it. So wait, watching CNN now, what's going on? Is this Wow, we're going to find out live together. Hannah said the Menendez brothers are finding out if they will be re-sentenced in a few minutes. Wow, let us know for sure. The Menendez announcement is soon, Michael Riley says. And I just saw something about somebody going live, so I should have known. Oh my God, Lisa, you are living it up. We're leaving Longhorn Steakhouse now and going to Target. Girl, the way I would love to have a bestie to just hang out and go to Target with. I mean, all of our friends are so busy. I mean, we do get time out to go to dinner, but I would love to just go to Target sometimes. You know what I mean? That would be so fun. Anyways, I used to do that with my mom. Did everything with my mom. Okay. Anyways, MJ admits she has not been Tommy's girlfriend for years. And now we've known for a while that she and her husband Tommy have had their moments. She has definitely not made a secret of that. I don't know. I do agree. I've heard the advice. I've done the advice. I've taken it. We all get in a slump with our partners, especially when we're super busy with whatever. Children are a huge blessing and a huge distraction and a huge stressor, especially depending on a lot of factors, right? Any medical issues, any issues they might have on top of just normal parenting, but also our jobs, our family, our friends, illnesses, life, stresses, anything. We can kind of put our partner on the back burner sometimes. So I do agree that sometimes you just got to do it, whether that's a date night or literally do it. You know what I mean? But I don't know that how much advice she gave on that as far as that goes. Because she is kind of quick. She is kind of fast with it, but I don't know. Anyway, she does have 2 live shows coming up. I thought this was interesting because they gave a code for like a 20% off. And I'm like, it's Thursday for a Friday and Sunday show. Now, I don't know how big. Anyone that's in that area, anyone that's going to it, let me know. Maybe the venue is really big and she just wants to sell it out. I don't know. I thought it was interesting, though, when Jeff has a code with someone, then he and the chumps all show up, which we know makes other chumps end up showing up, but just to run into them. Like whether they care about Dr. Laura or not, or it's just a bonus. And it's like, wait a minute. Now I'm going to get on an airplane. Now I'm going to fly. Now I'm going to buy a ticket. So I guess the tickets are probably on her website, Dr. Laura. I don't know what's her Instagram? Let's see. Dr. Laura. She's probably tagged in Jeff's picture. Dr. Laura Program. Okay, I tagged her in something earlier, so I didn't realize that's what her email is. Her Instagram, Dr. DRLAURA program, PROGRAM. Interesting. Anyway, so it's probably there, but this weekend shows somewhere in California, October 26th and 27th. Jeff and some of the chumps are going to be at the Sunday at 2 p.m. show. And there's also a code, I think, Jeff, to get 20% off. But I don't know. What do you think about him telling? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do they? I don't know. We don't really hear many details. Maybe she says it on their podcast, and I don't really listen to their podcast. I like it. I just don't make time to listen to it. Diane S. says MJ and Tommy have a stressful marriage. Now, they do a podcast together called Till the Dirt that's about their marriage. It's about, Bravo stuff. It's about things that go on. Diane says her wedding was filmed and it was a shit show. Yeah. I mean, the end of Shawls of Sunset. I wish I'd have been watching that show the whole time that it happened. Wait, what? I love that. Southern Belle Cell says, Sarah, I'm going to message you my Louise Mandrell story after seeing your story. Have you listened to Andy Cohen? I love when he does that. And I love the clip that they showed of John Hill being like, yeah, we love when you say Louise Mandrell. Oh my gosh, Carrie is going too. So a lot of chumps are going. I love that. Tiffany Chump says MJ and Tommy have been married since 2018. So, and they were together before that, right? For a while or what have you. Anyways, I don't know. There's no way in hell that Jeff is going to be single until Monroe is 18. That is literally almost exactly 10 years from tomorrow. Tomorrow's her 8th birthday. But I think he is, he keeps saying a year. It hasn't exactly been a year because I know he and Stu were together last Halloween. They were together, but I think they split up. Gosh, when did they actually split up? It's kind of hard because they didn't exactly say it on the radio. And it was very weird because they weren't really it was after BravoCon for sure. Or before BravoCon, I mean. And BravoCon last year was November. So it was between Halloween and BravoCon. So confusing. Heather says, I think MJ would be very high maintenance and draining. I don't know. I think MJ is more, and I don't know, I think MJ is more traditional and low maintenance because of her culture and her mom. And I think she's very take care of the house, clean the house. So in that sense of high maintenance, I don't know what you mean, clothes, I don't know what you mean by high maintenance because that can manifest itself in a lot of different ways. I don't even think she has a housekeeper. I literally think she does that herself. And I would like to think they can afford a housekeeper, but I almost wonder, not everyone wants a housekeeper because they don't trust people in their house, but they also feel like that's their job. They can clean the toilets that well. And I'm fine with somebody not cleaning my toilets that well, as long as someone else it's mopping. It's the wood floors that get me. I can clean a toilet because they've got all that stuff that you don't even touch anything. You got the little thing you clip on and you Clorox it out. It's the wood floors for me. I mean, that's freaking exhausting. Wait, what? Michael Riley, MJ, messy, Tommy's no picnic to grass. I have girl, what are you trying to say? MJ was a slob, Michael Riley says. Oh, see, I wasn't a big watcher of Shawls of Sunset. I just didn't have the time. Christina says, I do. I want a housekeeper. Yes. Michael Riley says, well, girl, you love a housekeeper. You like a person that comes and cuts your hair at the house. Don't you have a masseuse that comes, a nail clipper, and what else you got? You are living our life for sure. Yes. Somebody says, why is it taking so long to announce a Menendez case? Let us know. Okay, on the after show was Liat, who's a really good friend of his. Oh, he's crass. Yes, he's very crass. Very, yeah. I would never, listening to MJ and Tommy's podcast called Till the Dirt, I wouldn't ever put them together. You know what I mean? I love that though, Tiffany, that you treat yourself. Tiffany said, I can only get my housekeeper when I have overtime at work. But that's good. I mean, we all get to spend our overtime money however we want. So I love that you choose to treat yourself because to me, it's all in what you choose. I mean, right? It helps us to have all the help that we have. Like I don't want to mow the lawn. I've never owned a lawnmower since I've been an adult and had a house. So we've never had a lawnmower. We've always had a lawn person. Wait, what? Oh, Diane. I need to go. I need to find me that clip and send me the YouTube clip of it. Diane said she was spilling out of her dress and she had a super dark spray tan. They were drunk exchanging vows. I mean, what? I mean, Michael Riley, you are fancy AF. Liz had 6 for lobster salad lunch today. Oh my gosh. Anyways, hey Annie. Hello, lovely Annie. Southern Belle Cells. I've talked about this. I really don't. I never knew it was a thing till my mom started cleaning before the housekeeper as an adult. She says, how many of y'all clean before the housekeeper comes into your home? I honestly don't. But I also don't have like underwear laying around, or if I clean up anything, it's like if I have a Q-tip laying out or something. For some reason, if I used a Q-tip to get my mascara off and I only use one side, I'm cheap, so I'll save the next one for the next time. And so I'll throw that away. But I mean, trust me, I'm not like living my best life super clean. I mean, I've got kids, but anyways, I don't necessarily clean up. Michael says I straighten up before they come. I might get papers, but also when I get the mail, I pay the bills right away. I recycle what I need to recycle. I shred what I need to shred. So I don't really have stacks of bills and stacks of paper. That drives me nuts when I have stuff for the kids that is like, this is an event for 3 weeks or a birthday party. Now my kids are getting older, so I don't really have all that. But I remember when they were younger, it definitely had the stacks of like kids stuff, the homework that's not due for 4 days that they would leave on the kitchen counter. Okay. On the second hour was Liat and Joey Zalzig. Wow. Joey's a lot. I mean, I love that his Instagram and TikTok is mostly like cheering people on, giving advice, like living your best life, motivating people, like working out. But I also love that he eats Taco Bell. I also love that he's kind of a hot mess in his own personal life. He basically says, I talk to people and I'm cheering myself up. I'm cheering myself on. I'm giving myself the advice that like, move on. He's in the back. He's in your rearview mirror for a reason. So leave him there, leave her there, leave them there. And he says, I'm talking to myself at the same time. So Jeff definitely brought this up and they had a lot to say about this. So his best friend, Eric, he's known for like 15 years, cheated with his ex-husband, Brian, when they were married, which means he knew that Brian did. So that kind of fuels the whole, did they have an open relationship or were they both just cheating and kind of swept it under the rug? Like those are two very different things. An open relationship means they're into it. They're both agreeing. They're probably being respectful, saying, hey, I'm going out with John tonight. Here's the safety information, or whether they had shared partners, whatever. They will be retried. So what does that mean? They don't get out now? Rebecca says, breaking news, Menendez brothers will be retried. I think that means they're not getting out, right? Wow, that's crazy. Oh, Michael Riley says, Joey's a mess and keep your mouth closed when you're eating. It's gross. He's a double dipper. Oh, we got to chat about that. Oh, I'm so not a double dipper. I don't like drinking after other people, and I definitely don't like dipping like salsa, or he said he dipped the sour cream into the salsa and it was all mixed together. I'm like, like you get your own. I don't know if he double dipped, but he definitely dipped into the whatever. So what does that mean though? Rebecca says, I haven't read it all yet. Okay. I don't know what that means about the Menendez brothers. Okay. She's very bold as an advice person. So they were calling Liat Dr. Liat because she was kind of giving advice too. But one caller said that Jeff ignores Doug on the commercial breaks and they're really hard on him. And I don't agree with that. Like, tell me your thoughts. Like, I really believe Jeff when he says, look, if I tease you, if I joke about you, it's because I like you. Like, it might be mean to other people, but even things like when he at the end, whatever happened with him and Paige Davis, when he was teasing her about talking loudly and like saying that her dates probably need hearing aids and all this other stuff. I wondered if he was just teasing her, and I wondered if she got too hard on that. Now, obviously, he went into some other things he didn't love about that, about her. But with Doug, one thing that stuck out to me last week, they were talking about Doug's mom and like how he might have accidentally made her break her hip or leg or whatever it was that she broke. Foot. What did she break? Like trying to get her apartment early and all this other stuff. I know he's joking, but I'm also like, that's also his mom. Like, that's your mom. And she is older and she does live in New York City and he does live in LA. So it's got to be a stressor to him to not be there with his mom, who is a widow, the widow helping his dad, all that. They will get a new trial. Okay. So Kimberly says the teasing to Paige Davis seemed vicious. It wasn't funny and totally uncomfortable. So that's where I have no idea if that situation was the same, but I do feel when Jeff is teasing the chumps, he really likes them. You know what I mean? Tiffany Chump says Jeff absolutely loves this bra is too tight on me. I've got to change it for body pump. I've gained 30 pounds and just, it's just gross. Ugh. Anyways, she knows he's one of the most genuine people he will ever meet. I mean, literally, I don't think he'd take a bullet for Jeff. I think he would watch for the sniper to make sure a sniper didn't ever shoot a bullet at Jeff. Does that make sense? Like, I think Doug is always looking and preparing and making sure everything's good and protecting his friends and family in that kind of way. You know what I mean? Oh my God, y'all are saying he eats with his mouth closed. That's true. Yes. Kimberly J says it seemed a bit more vicious. His teasing goes from funny to too much when he's annoyed and takes it out on whomever's in front of him. That's true. Yeah. Krista said Doug's head is on a swivel, like he's always whatever. If you don't watch the Jeff Lewis video, I can't rave about it enough. First of all, it's always got the pre-show and the post-show now. But now we get 5 different commercial breaks. And of course, they chat. So yesterday, Doug and Jackie Schimmel were chatting a lot. Jeff and Shane were chatting a little bit. But when they do the mic test, not every time, but most every time that Doug is on, because he's not on every week anymore. But he'll do like a dad joke. So yesterday was like a lesbian joke. So it was like, what do you call 2 lesbians in the closet? The liquor closet or something like that. Something like that. Anyways, it was so funny. Oh my gosh, Yvonne Gal says, I'm a big crybaby. I can only take too much teasing and then I'm crying. Doug is much thicker skinned than I am. Yeah, I mean, and I think Doug and Jameson has no problem telling Jeff whenever he's overcrossed the line. And, he doesn't cry to HR, but he's like, look, put a pin in it, stop about my boyfriend, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Wait, what? Okay. Tiffany Chomp says, did you see that on the last commercial break yesterday? Justin said he unfollowed Megan. So somebody sent me a message today and said, did Justin say that he unfollowed? I thought they said, Joey Zauzig, but you're saying Megan. Then they said they couldn't read the words. Let's see. Why would Justin unfollow Megan though? I don't even think Justin and Megan had much of a relationship. Like, why would he even follow her to begin with? Well, he's not following her. Justin doesn't follow her. So I have no idea if he was following her and now unfollowed her. I have no idea. But I didn't see that. But somebody was telling me that. I did watch the commercial breaks. He lipped it. So he just said it to Sarah Colonna. Tiffany Chump says he lipped it so you couldn't see, but it looked like he said Megan. Somebody else told me said it looked like they said Joey Zalzig. So I have no idea. Yes, Christina says Megan got her 1-year medallion yesterday. Yeah, we talked about that on the show that she's 1 year sober now. Should Joey end his friendship with his best friend Eric? He says they're on a break right now. He says he doesn't have any space for that right now, but I don't know. If you've already done, I mean, 15 years is 15 years. I get it. I've had friendships of 30 years. I mean, but at some point, if someone shows you twice who they are, and one of them is having sex with your husband, and then kind of Joey did admit today that he said a lot of things that were very mean, very needy, like he was just trying to get from this guy David like some things when they were on that vacation trip together. But he says that Eric, it didn't help when Eric DM'd the guy David and was trying to like start shit by saying, why aren't you posting about Joey? Isn't this hotel resort nice enough for you, or something weird like that? Like trying to cause a problem, it sounds like. And it didn't sound like Eric took any accountability for that. Like he was like, why? Like, what does that matter? What did I do wrong? And it seemed like Joey was trying to explain to him like why this is a problem, and he didn't understand it at all. It seems like there's more callers during the second hour though. Do you like that or not? Like, or maybe was it because it was Dr. Lore today? I don't know. Somebody called in and said her advice is outdated and it's anti-woman. So I don't know. It just grossed me out, him talking about double dipping, but I don't know. Eric is a slut. Pause him. Wow, Michael Raleigh has no problem. Mel, I don't really know. I don't think I think she said explicitly that she didn't. Let me read the question. Mel says, does Megan consider herself an alcoholic? I think she's explicitly said no, she did not consider herself an alcoholic, but she didn't like how she was being, and sometimes she would black out. I think she admitted. Like she doesn't remember a lot of like Universal Studios from last year. So I think she quickly decided after that to do that. Any open questions or any advice you need? If you have any advice stuff, email it to ask Sarah, SARAH at what is it? gmail.com. What is that email I set up? My daughter set it up. No, I'm wrong. Ask Sarah from Texas at gmail.com. Yes, I'll put it in comments here. All one word. Sarah from Texas at, I cannot type. My goodness. Oh my God, I love that. Rebecca says, where's Michael Riley and can we be best friends? He's here. Yes, I love him. Don't take him away from me, but we can all be besties. The chip confused me. What's the chip mean? I would have to write a book if I ask for advice. My life is complicated. Send me something. Southern Belle Cells. I really want to do it. What do you need advice on? And it can be anything. It can be my best friend and I had this fight. Who is right? You know what I mean? Oh, the chip is from Alcoholics Anonymous. I think, I don't know, maybe she does consider an alcoholic. She hasn't been on Jeff Lewis since May 31st. Was that the last time she was on? The day after the May 30th live show in Irvine. Yeah. That's when it all went downhill, he says. Or that was the final straw, as he said, I think. Anyways, Michael Riley's willing to be best friends with everyone. I love it. Spread yourself out. I miss her, Liz and the Bee says. Yeah. And Jeff has said he misses the old Doug and the old Megan shows. You know what I mean? So, whoa. Okay, that's deep. Very much common after the passing of people's parents. Southern Belle Cells says, my brother is suing me for 95% of my parents' estate. Wow, I have so many questions. First, are y'all the only siblings? This is why I feel like it needs to be either written out with a lot of information or I want it to be live, like a call in, or you come on the show. You know what I mean? Because I think we will all have questions to ask about that. You know what I mean? Like, give us more information. But I think we need it to be, live. That way we can ask questions and give advice and anything. So, anyways, um, oh, Michael Riley says he's on the gram. Tell us your gram. He's private. What's your Instagram, Michael? Email you with context so you can set it up here. Yes, email me at Sarah, ask Sarah from Texas at gmail.com. Ask Sarah, Sarah, from Texas, TEXAS, not TX, at gmail.com. Anyways, well, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining live. If you're listening as a replay, we love you too. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast. And make sure you do a 5-star rating and review. Even if you don't listen as a podcast, find your podcast. Go to Sarah from Texas. I always put a link in my Instagram stories. So click on that, scroll down, see the stars, hit the 5 stars, and then it says write a review, and then just write up something really quick. I'd really, really appreciate it. See you tomorrow, same place, same time. Wait a minute. Tomorrow I have an appointment. So if I have to change it, I'm going to have to make it earlier or later. I'm going to have to adjust maybe. So watch my Instagram stories, or I'll update you on my YouTube channel. Okay. Bye, y'all.